The soft glow of a Saturday morning sun bathed Ethan Harris's silver sedan, its sleek surface gleaming as he scrubbed away the dust and dirt that had accumulated over the week. For Ethan, this wasn't just another chore. It was a ritual, a quiet time of reflection and calm. His driveway, simple yet significant to him, became his sanctuary each weekend. Equipped with a playlist of classic R&B and the soothing scent of car soap filling the air, he cherished these rare hours of solitude that suburban life sometimes allowed. However, this Saturday was destined to be different. Ethan hummed contentedly to the familiar tunes of Al Green as he watched the car's exterior, lost in the rhythm of his work. The occasional bark of a dog from across the street and the rustling of tree branches in the breeze created the perfect backdrop for his morning. Even Mrs. Norma Lee, the elderly neighbor who had once scolded him for mowing the lawn too early on a Sunday, simply passed by with a brief, suspicious glance. It seemed like just another peaceful day until she arrived. The first thing Ethan noticed was the blindingly bright vehicle, a flaming orange SUV that seemed to scream for attention. It crawled down the street with a growl, coming to a halt at the edge of his driveway, blocking his path completely. Behind the wheel sat a woman who seemed to be made entirely of bold statements, her platinum blonde hair, neon workout gear, and mirrored sunglasses radiating an aura of confrontation. Ethan, unsure of what to expect, hesitated. Maybe she was lost? With a half-hearted wave, he greeted her, only for the SUV to creep forward and park squarely at the base of his driveway. The woman leaned out the window, her face twisted in annoyance. "Excuse me," she barked, her voice sharp, like nails scraping against a chalkboard. "You're blocking my access." Ethan blinked, puzzled. "I'm washing my car in my driveway, ma'am." "I'm not blocking anyone." She pointed at the space in front of him, her finger like a weapon. "I need to park here. I'm going to a yoga retreat at Lena's place, and there's no other spot." "This is an emergency." Ethan's eyebrow arched. "You want to park on my property?" "Yes," she snapped, her impatience now evident. Taking a deep breath, Ethan controlled his irritation and responded calmly. "I'll be done in about 15 minutes. There's plenty of space a block away, and I can even help you find a spot." Her grip on the steering wheel tightened, turning her knuckles white. "This is unbelievable. I'm calling the authorities." "Wait, what?" Ethan's confusion deepened as she fumbled for her phone. He half thought she was just bluffing, but no, she wasn't. 911, yes, I'm being harassed by a suspicious man," she said dramatically, her words practically dripping with exaggeration. "He's refusing to let me park. He's being aggressive, and I feel unsafe." Ethan's jaw dropped. "I'm literally washing my car," he muttered loud enough for the operator to hear. "This is absurd. He's threatening me. I don't feel safe." Her next word stung harder than any insult. "And he's a man of color." Ethan, feeling the weight of the unjust accusation, took out his phone and began recording. He didn't know how this would play out, but he knew he had to be prepared. Within moments, a squad car pulled into the street. The sirens were silent, but the flashing lights painted the scene with a tense urgency. 2 officers stepped out, one man, one woman, both carrying the look of officers who had seen it all before. The woman, whom Ethan later learned was named Officer Riley, jumped out of her car with an air of theatrics. "That's him! That's the guy!" she cried, pointing at Ethan with all the flair of a stage actor. The male officer walked over to Ethan, one hand hovering near his hip. "Sir, can you tell us what's going on?" Ethan nodded, his hands visible at his sides. "I'm just washing my car here. This woman wanted to park, but I told her no. Then she called you." The female officer turned to Riley. "Is that true, ma'am?" Riley launched into a tale of noise complaints, illegal parking, and all sorts of wild accusations. Ethan was allegedly making menacing eye contact, polluting the air, and generally being a nuisance. It was absurd, and in another situation, it might have been laughable. As Riley spoke, Ethan calmly pulled out his phone. "I have it all on video," he said, offering it to the officers. They watched as the footage played, their skeptical expressions gradually shifting to annoyance. The male officer exchanged a glance with his partner. "Ma'am," the male officer said, his voice suddenly hard. "Can I see your driver's license and registration, please?" Riley hesitated. "Why? I'm the one being harassed here." "It's just a formality," the officer replied coolly. Reluctantly, she handed over a sparkly pink wallet, and after a brief conversation between the officers, they returned with a new tone. "Ma'am," the officer began, his voice now icy. "You are under arrest." Riley's face contorted in disbelief. "What? What for?" "For having multiple outstanding parking tickets, and your license has been suspended for 6 months." This isn't possible," she stammered. "You'll have your day in court," the officer said curtly, as they placed her in cuffs. Her pink sunglasses slipped off as she was escorted to the squad car, still yelling about her rights being violated. The SUV was towed away, and the neighborhood watched from their windows, murmuring among themselves. Ethan stood still, a mixture of relief and shock washing over him. Before leaving, the male officer came up to him, handing over a business card. "Sir, thank you for your cooperation. If you hadn't recorded, this could have gone very differently." Ethan nodded slowly, feeling a mix of appreciation and unease. "Thanks for handling it professionally." The officer gave him a knowing smile. "You might want to post that video. It could do some good." Ethan didn't need any further encouragement. He uploaded the video, which soon went viral. The title, "Woman Calls Cops on Man Washing His Car," spread like wildfire, accumulating millions of views. Social media exploded with comments mocking Riley, and memes flooded the internet. Late-night hosts joked about the absurdity of it all. But the story didn't end there. Riley was expelled from her book club and fired by her employer after the video went viral. She was charged with filing a false report and driving with a suspended license, pled guilty, and received probation with community service. Ethan became a local hero, but the incident left him disturbed by how privilege could twist reality. Months later, seeing another bright SUV made Ethan uneasy. He kept his phone charged. A teacher showed the video in class, and a student sent Ethan an essay titled "Courage is a Car Wash," thanking him for showing that dignity is more powerful than anger. Ethan realized the day was about sparking change.